Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOSLC. Mary Cosby's dad is linked to a serial killer. On Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the personal life of Mary Cosby has never exactly been unproblematic. Her decision to marry her step-grandfather was a big deal in her family. It caused a lot of lasting tension and permanent damage. However, another gem of drama that's just been exposed about the family revolves around Mary's biological father. It turns out he was linked to serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer based on proximity. These are the details. While Mary was visiting Milwaukee during an episode of RHOSLC, she noted that her dad was from the city. Mary explained that her father actually used to live like a street away from Jeffrey Dahmer. Before authorities locked up Dahmer, they nicknamed him the Milwaukee Monster and the Milwaukee Cannibal. He eventually caught the attention of the authorities after he killed and dismembered 17 different men. In some cases, he actually ate his victims' various body parts. Knowing that Mary's biological father didn't live too far from Dahmer is an uncomfortable and unsettling fact to consider. After locking him up, professionals diagnosed Dahmer with bipolar personality disorder, schizotypical personality disorder, and psychotic disorder. Despite receiving multiple diagnoses, they labeled him legally sane when it was time for his trial. A fellow inmate named Christopher Scarver beat Dahmer to death while they both served time behind bars in Wisconsin. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Scarver decided he wanted to kill Dahmer because Dahmer was taunting all the inmates. Allegedly, Dahmer would turn his food into shapes of severed body parts. Then he would add ketchup to mimic the appearance of blood. Scarver got fed up from Dahmer's taunts and decided to take matters into his own hands. Since then, a couple of movies have premiered to highlight Dahmer's twisted crimes. These include Dahmer vs. Gacy in 2010 and My Friend Dahmer in 2017. Some viewers have voiced their disgust and disinterested in My Friend Dahmer, specifically because they felt it painted Dahmer in a forgiving light. The argument is that the filmmakers did too much to make Dahmer a relatable character as a way of justifying his disturbing actions. While it's true that Dahmer didn't have the best childhood because he dealt with occasional bullying, the fact that he turned into a vicious serial killer years later will never be justified. Mary's latest family drama doesn't end with this revelation about her father, though. Some reality TV show fans are convinced that Mary's son, Robert Cosby Jr., is dealing with substance abuse issues in relation to the chaotic headlines that always seem to plague the family. In a shocking twist that even the most seasoned reality TV fans didn't see coming, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has taken a dark and eerie turn, as reports have surfaced linking Mary Cosby's father to a notorious serial killer. The news has set the internet ablaze, leaving both fans and castmates in disbelief as they try to piece together the enigmatic details behind this chilling revelation. The silent scandal. For months, whispers have circled the cast of RHOSLC, with murmurs of a hidden family secret that had yet to surface. Mary Cosby, known for her unpredictable behavior, luxury lifestyle, and fiery comments, has always had an air of mystery surrounding her. From her unconventional marriage to her late grandmother's husband to her role as the First Lady of the family's church, there has been no shortage of drama in Mary's life. However, nothing could have prepared viewers for the storm that was about to descend. The revelation came to light when a viral true crime podcast dove into cold cases and criminal connections in Utah. A seemingly routine episode took a jaw-dropping turn when the hosts uncovered a shocking link between a notorious serial killer who terrorized the region decades ago and none other than Mary Cosby's estranged father. The details were chilling. Her father had reportedly been in contact with the killer, raising questions about how deep their relationship went and whether he had any involvement in the heinous crimes. A father's dark past. While Mary has often kept details of her family life private, this bombshell has forced her hand. Reports claim that her father, once a prominent figure in the church, had a complex past filled with secrets. According to sources, he had a history of troubled behavior, marked by periods of estrangement from the family. But the most disturbing detail: allegations that he had a close personal relationship with the infamous serial killer, who was convicted of multiple murders in the Salt Lake City area during the late 1980s and early 1990s. As more information began to surface, rumors swirled that Mary's father had not only known the killer, but had provided him with shelter and resources during his killing spree. Investigators had long suspected that the murderer had outside help, but had never been able to confirm the identity of his accomplices. Could Mary's father have been the missing piece in the investigation all along? The Housewives react. As the news broke, the cast of RHOSLC was left reeling. Meredith Marks, who has been a close confidant of Mary's in recent seasons, was reportedly the first to reach out privately to offer support. However, some of the other housewives were not as sympathetic. Lisa Barlow, always one to stir the pot, was quick to voice her suspicions. "I've always said there's something off about Mary's family," Lisa was overheard saying in a preview clip. "But this is beyond crazy. I don't even know how to process it." Heather Gay, who has had a strained relationship with Mary over the years, was more hesitant to jump to conclusions. "Look, I know Mary has a complicated family dynamic," Heather said during a confessional. "But this is someone's father we're talking about. We have to be careful not to accuse someone of something so serious without all the facts." The usually outspoken Whitney Rose remained tight-lipped on the matter, fueling speculation that she knew more than she was letting on. Her silence didn't go unnoticed by fans, with many taking to social media to question whether Whitney had inside information she was choosing not to share. Mary's response. The public waited with bated breath for Mary Cosby's response to the scandal, and when it finally came, it was as dramatic as anyone could have expected. In an exclusive interview with a major network, Mary addressed the allegations, denying any knowledge of her father's connection to the serial killer. "I'm as shocked as anyone," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "I haven't spoken to my father in years. We've had a complicated relationship, and there were things about his life I didn't understand, but I had no idea about this. To say I'm devastated is an understatement." Mary went on to explain that her father had struggled with mental health issues and addiction throughout much of his life, which contributed to their estrangement. She insisted that while he had made mistakes, he was not involved in the murders, and that any connection to the serial killer was purely coincidental. However, when pressed for details about their last contact, Mary became evasive, leaving viewers to wonder if there was more to the story than she was letting on. The investigation reopened. In a surprising twist, authorities have reportedly reopened the investigation into the serial killer's crimes, following the revelation of Mary's father's potential involvement. New leads have surfaced, and investigators are re-examining old evidence with fresh eyes. According to sources close to the case, detectives are particularly interested in a series of letters found in the killer's possession, which they believe may have been written by Mary's father. These developments have sent shockwaves through Salt Lake City, where many had long believed the case to be closed. The killer, who had been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, had always maintained that he acted alone. But with these new revelations, investigators are beginning to question whether he had a silent partner all along. What's next for Mary Cosby? As the investigation unfolds, Mary Cosby finds herself in an impossible position. With her father's dark past now in the public eye, she must navigate the fallout both personally and professionally. Will her fellow housewives stand by her, or will this revelation drive an even deeper wedge between her and the group? And more importantly, how will Mary cope with the possibility that her father may have played a role in one of Salt Lake City's most infamous murder cases? For now, Mary remains defiant, insisting that the allegations are unfounded and that her father's name will be cleared. But as more details continue to emerge, fans of RHOSOC can't help but wonder whether the truth is even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. One thing is certain: this latest scandal has forever changed the course of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, adding a dark and unsettling chapter to the franchise's history. The question on everyone's mind is, how will Mary Cosby and her family emerge from this chilling storm? Only time will tell.